What's happening? Andy here. I am joined today by Jerry Jehn of Waltz Business Solutions. How are you doing today, Jerry?
What's happening, Andy?
What's happening indeed, Jerry? You are down in the Cincinnati area, Kentucky. Tell us where you are. What's happening? Where are you today?
Oh, where are we today? Well, we're a Cincinnati corporation, so I'll first start out by saying that everybody gets us all mixed up with where our geography is. But I will say we are a biscuit's throw away from Cincinnati, stolen from our buddy Chap.
Yeah. Chap's a biscuit throw from Arkansas. Chap's 100 years old, and you guys, we got some emails about you after that interview of Chap talking about how old they were, because in your mind they were just a baby, right? How old are you guys now?
I was teasing Chap. He was just a baby. We're 130.
130 years. So tell us, how did Waltz Business Solutions in Cincinnati area get to be 130 years old? You might be one of the oldest. You might be the oldest out there.
Yes. And to answer that question, Frank Waltz actually founded the company back in 1892. And he started out repairing typewriters downtown Cincinnati. And he actually, a fun fact about him, he actually invented the triple typewriter, which was known across the country, in particular in the vertical of the shoe industry, where the shoe manufacturers found out from each other that this thing could type 3 invoices at once. We've got an old picture of that somewhere in the building, but that's pretty cool. But then from there, he passed on back in the 50s, and then his daughters ran the company for a short stint before our father, Jim Jehn, then was selling Underwood typewriters from the Underwood Corporation to Mary Waltz and her sister. And then one thing led to another. Jim went to the bank and said, "Hey, I need to borrow $10,000 to buy this company." And of course, the bank was like, "What kind of collateral do you have?" And he says, "I have none. I've got 9 children, no money, no pot to pee in, but I want this business." And as fate would have it, they lent them the money, and here we are 60 something years later.
Unreal. And there he is behind you up on the wall, I believe, right?
Yes, he is.
Watching over you, making sure you're not screwing up.
Yeah, he's watching over us along with our mother right below him.
What a great story. Now, I did come out there last year. You had an incredible event. You had a big customer day, great food truck, tons of people. It was just a special time for you guys. It was great to visit you. Just a cool place. You guys, you're a Kyocera reseller. You sell Epson. So tell us about what is Waltz. Your office equipment. What else do you guys do there in Cincinnati?
Well, our origins, of course, were typewriters, and then as the typewriters, as that technology faded out, then of course, back in '79, we sold our first copier. It was actually called Mita. You remember that name?
I sold some of those Mitas.
That's right. I remember you saying that. So from there, the technology, we made a few acquisitions with the copier end of things. We bought a few copier companies around here, and then we also acquired an MSP provider, which we called it a computer company back then. So we actually attempted to pioneer the trail in the computer support technology, the network solutions.
Managed services, sure.
Yes. And we were very humbled by that. And we very quickly decided that that's enough tax shelter. We don't need any more. So we got back out of that business, and we focused on our core, which right now is anything to do with document creation to document destruction. So we now have, as nature's taking its course, we've got all of the document management type solutions out there that we focus on. And then we actually have a destruction route. So we have probably 50 to 75 clients that we actually have bins destruction bins in their offices, and we go recycle that information and get it shredded for them and documented and secured. In addition to that, we also have a scanning bureau, and our hopes with these solutions is that we help the client transition into that digital transformation. So we've got a few folks here that are scanning their information all day, every day, and putting that information in the cloud for them.
So you essentially will send trucks into a customer, pick up their documents, bring them back to a secure facility, scan them, put them into the cloud, into a secure area of the cloud, obviously, and then you take it to that next step where you'll physically destroy those documents for them.
Correct. And
so
that is
end of life,
yes.
Certifying, are there certifications involved with this? Is there there's probably some levels that you need to obtain to be able to do this in a way that they're able to cover themselves, I would imagine.
There is, and we are, and don't even begin to ask.
I'm not going to ask you what they are. I wouldn't know what they meant anyway. So I just know there are some involved. We obviously work with a whole bunch of companies in our industry who are, moving down that path, and dealers like you are looking at it as an opportunity. You guys do have one client you helped out quite a bit this year. It was a new client for you, if I remember. And they went from being a perennial, I don't want to say, this not the most successful, I guess let's call them a company in their industry, but you helped them go from the bottom of the barrel to the Super Bowl this year, in fact. Now, is that just a coincidence, or Cincinnati Bengals is the company I'm talking about? They start working with you, and now they're in the Super Bowl. And I know they got this quarterback that's really good and a great defense. But is it all that, or is it really, how much influence and impact do you think you guys really had on that run?
From a humble standpoint, we were very honored to be able to support them. We had a lot of competitors that were vying for that same position. When we became their provider, they were, the relationship's been very good. I mean, the folks there, we've been to several happy hours with them. We're meeting with them constantly. They actually, on the whim, invited us to their first game in their suite as a nice start of the relationship, because that's when it started. It was like a month before their season started last year. And they were getting ready to lose their first game to Minnesota. And I'll never forget it. The gentleman from the Bengals is sitting next to me, and we're kind of looking down at the field like, okay, we're getting ready to lose this. Minnesota, all they had to do was run the clock out, win the game. And I said, they're going to fumble that. They're going to fumble. And the next play, they fumbled the ball.
Sure enough.
And so that was kind of the running joke throughout the season. We would text each other. The guy from the Bengals and me would text each other, and Jerry, work your magic. And I think one or two other times that happened. And then there we were, the Bengals in the Super Bowl.
What a run. What a run. And what an exciting time for you guys. And I'm sure for your whole company to just get involved with them. And I would imagine that you probably had to take a crack at getting them many times over the years. It's no different in a lot of these other cities. It's a source of pride for any company to be working with such a highly visible organization, and especially this year with such a successful one. Timing is everything, though, right? So yep. Tell me about your people. What's some of the culture, what's it like, the tenure, the people that you have? I met a lot of great people there. Tell me about them.
Well, we're like any other company that wants a good culture. They first start with family, and we're all about family here. We've been through a lot together, and our goal is to have this be the second home for myself and all of us and the folks here. Tenure wise, we've got 5 of us that are 30 years plus, another 5, so total 10 of us that are 20 years plus, and then on down the line. So we've got a real good tenure here.
And a lot of family, right? A lot of your brothers and family, siblings, whatever. Um, who else is there?
Yeah.
You got a lot of genes there, I believe.
Yeah, it's all in the genes here. Um, 5 brothers in total that have been in and out of the company. 3 of them are retired now. Josh and I, president and vice president, are still here, chugging along. And then we've got a nephew as well, Matt.
Yep.
And so there's still a pretty strong family foothold here, and there will be for a long time, hopefully. That's our intention.
Yeah, Matt's got a what's happening. I mailed it to him after that visit. I believe I see yours back there behind your shoulder on the shelf there.
There it
Nice
is.
to see. Always nice to see.
Yes.
Give me a couple fun facts as we sort of wind this down. Tell me a few things that we wouldn't know about. I actually one of my fun facts I remember. It was one of the more memorable parts. I promised I wouldn't put it in the newsletter, the picture of it, but you have I don't know what you call it. It's a wall of success, a wall of you basically. So, in the copier industry, right? Every time you go to sell a machine, it's got your company's sticker on it. So they know who to call for service and it's your logo. And so you guys will take trades and you peel the logo off your competitors. They go up on this wall. Well, over the course of how many years, I don't know how long you've been doing this, but that wall is just filled with stickers from all the other companies in the Cincinnati area. And again, we didn't publish that picture. I don't want to, you were very specific. We don't want to, make fun of anyone else, but just as an internal source of pride, that is just awesome.
Well,
the winner's circle. I don't know what you call that wall.
And just let me state for the record, I didn't start that.
Yeah. No, but and you don't publicize it. You wouldn't, you were very kind and you asked me not to put the picture into my feed and all that, which I did honor, but it was such a great picture. And I can see it being a source of pride for the sales team or for the for the techs who come in that it's I sold out there. It's always nice when you get one from your competitors. It's always nice to bring their machine in your place, and and that goes both ways. They get you too sometimes. So it's better to be on that end though and peel their sticker off than than have yours on their wall, which for all you may have a wall over there too. So who knows?
Well, I could have fun with this one, but I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
Yes.
So fun facts. Give me some fun facts about you guys.
Well, as we already talked about our longevity, we call ourselves the authority in the office equipment world. We've been through 2 world wars and how many recessions, how many depressions, now COVID. We're the 5th oldest in the country in terms of the real record, which surprised me. I thought we would have been the oldest, but we're not. There's actually some companies that are from the mid 1800s. I didn't even know they had anything office related back then. I thought they were still using stones. And
yeah, they might have been, but those stones needed to be sharpened.
Another fun fact, the president of Brother International worked here as a typewriter sales guy, and you saw him at our 60th.
I did. Yes, I did. He came in for the meeting. That was great. That was a great day. He started his career with you.
Yes, we called it the Cheers to 60 years.
Yep.
The event was centered around not only celebrating our family ownership, but celebrating all the employees that have come and gone. And lots of them are still friends with us. Don being one of them, Don Cummins.
Yep.
And so we had him
there.
speak there, and I don't know if you remember, but he still had his presentation binder.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He had your pitch book, the pitch book, we used to call it, right?
Yes, we all had one of those. We were all.
I can't believe he still has it. That was the best.
Yes, and continuing that fun fact, when I first started here back in '83 was my first year as a technician. That was a very long stint of about 3 months. When I dusted myself off and came back into the sales world, I sat down with I was sat down with a notebook, and it was empty. And he said, fill it up with business cards and Scotch tape and notes. So, and I too had my presentation binder, the Mita presentation binder back then.
Yep.
Now Kyocera.
That was your first CRM.
Yes, it was. We were just joking about that the other day. But now we're using Dynamics in the Microsoft world.
Yep.
Another fun fact. This is just a funny story, but I was 2 weeks into my marriage back in '87, and I had this brand new ring on me, and we were trading in a Savin copier, and it was on the old infamous gurney. And we were wheeling into the van, and my partner in crime said, "Why don't you jump in the van and make sure this thing gets in there okay?" And I did, and the gurney collapses on my hand, and it smashed this ring 2 weeks into it.
Oh no.
As luck would have it, the jeweler that I bought it from was like 2 blocks away in downtown Cincinnati. So anyway, just a funny story about any of the old copier guys that are going to watch this video. You know, some of the funny stories of casualties that occur with these gurneys and these copiers.
Oh my gosh. I remember my interview. One of my first interviews was, I'm back in the day where they asked what I was driving, and it wasn't a requirement to have a station wagon anymore, but they did want to know what I drove because they wanted to know if I could carry, everyone had to have a big hatchback, big trunk. If you were able to, that would get you the job if you could carry the stuff out to the customers. So it was funny. What was it? Which brand? Oh, what did I drive? At that point, I had an Impala, so I didn't have the right kind of car. I had the biggest, boxiest car you ever saw. It was an 80 something, man. Those are the days. But yeah, that was one of the questions during the interview. What do you drive? Would you mind driving would you have a problem getting a station wagon? So, I didn't wind up working there.
Mine was a 77 Valori wagon. Same color as my shirt.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Canary yellow.
Perfect.
Oh man, that was a hot rod.
Well, I got to get back down there and visit you and hit that. What was it? The steakhouse. It was Waltz's Steakhouse. It was not yours, but it was a different spelling, but similar name.
Yes.
And that was awesome. So I got to come visit you and hit that place again. Hit both Waltzes in town. Great places.
Practice up on your golf game next time you get down.
Yeah. I've been practicing. It's still not going very well, but I've been practicing my butt off. So I will come. We will play again. And yeah, great catching up with you, Jerry. You have a great week, and we'll talk soon.
Andy, you too. And thank you for everything you do to keep the industry apprised.
Well, thank you very much for saying that. Take care, Jerry.
Okay, bye.